have eggplant, chickpeas, and Mediterranean vegetables. An entree that's vegetarian, vegan, and even gluten-free. Put this on couscous, on rice, put it in a pita, all kind of things you can do with it. Great meal, healthy, and delicious. Today let's look at something that everybody's seen and very few people know what to do with it. The classic American eggplant. These come in all shapes and sizes. Today we're going to be discussing a Mediterranean entree made with eggplant, chickpeas, and other items. This is gluten-free. This is vegan. You're going to love this. I'm going to make this one of the entrees for our Easter dinner. Stay tuned. I'll show you how to do it. The first thing we need to do is take our eggplant, cut the stems off, shave them down, very easy. Then you're going to take this, you can cut this into strips. This is eggplant I picked up on clearance. So, maybe look a little rough, but that's okay. We're going to cube this into squares. And then we're going to take this and we're going to put this in a container. We're going to use kosher salt and we're going to drain the juice out of there. What kosher salt does, it extracts the liquid, which is bitter sometimes, out. It collapses the cells on the eggplant and makes it taste a lot better. You can leave the skin on, you can leave the skin off. Totally up to you. We'll come back. This is going to have to soak for about an hour to pull the moisture out of here. Once the moisture is pulled out, then we'll start assembling everything else together. Kosher salt, any kind of salt will work, sea salt, whatever. Be generous with the salt. We're going to take all the salt, we're going to let it sit in the eggplant, we're going to let it draw the moisture out and collapse the cells. Get the bitterness out of there. This will take about an hour. It's been 2 hours. We've sweated all the water out of the eggplant, and let me show you what that looks like. You're going to be surprised how much water comes out of this one little eggplant like you saw earlier. Here's our eggplant for 2 hours. Look how much water came out of there. That's amazing. All that water is bitter. We used to take the eggplant also and we cut them into pieces, into slabs. We put the salt on there, we drain them out a couple hours, and then we take a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of salt, sea salt, nothing else. Throw them on the grill. They are amazing. I'll do a video on that sometimes. In the meantime, if you get a chance, try it yourself. You will love this. All right, back to the eggplant. Here we are, eggplant going in. Look at all that juice. Oh my God. Stuff is bitter. It's obviously very salty. What you want to do now, you want to wash all the salt off the eggplant. You do not want that in there. Rinse them off. And that's it. You want to get these dry as you possibly can. Get your paper towels, get in there and just pat them dry. Get all the water off as possible. And you can also take these from here, since we're teaching techniques about eggplant and food in general, you can take these, you can roast them in the oven, you can roast them on a grill with a grill basket. Right now these things are wonderful. Not so good raw, but they're wonderful cooked. Okay, got these done. Let's turn our fire on. Fire's on. Let the pan get hot. You want to put a little bit of olive oil in the pan and start them cooking. You don't want them touched close together. You want them spread out as much as possible. You want to get a good flavor and a good char on there. There is some little water, but that's okay. It'll come off in the cooking process. Cooking also is about patience. Don't get in a hurry. Take your time. Let the heat, let the pan do its work, and you'll be rewarded in the end. While these are cooking, let's introduce the rest of the ingredients. We're going to have half a green pepper, 1 whole tomato, half an onion, some Chinese celery. This is good stuff. This is stronger than celery. It's got a much harsh, more flavorful. Some Kalamata olives. This is a Mediterranean. Juice of 1 lemon. 6 cloves of garlic. And we're using 1 can of chickpeas. You could use fresh chickpeas, bake them yourself. This is quicker. We need to rinse these off also. You don't want any of the flavor or any of the juice. Rinse them off, drain them out before you cook with it. Continuing on, we have chopped parsley. This parsley was actually frozen. Yes, you can freeze parsley. It freezes very well. We have 2 small cans of tomato juice going in, and some celery salt. And that's it. That's the entire litany. You're going to like this. I can't wait till you see this. I hope you try it. Like I said, once again, all these items are interchangeable. You can move things in and out. You can put in, for the lemon, you have to have some acidity, but you can put in balsamic vinegar. You can put in sherry wine. You can put in burgundy wine. Change the flavor. Obviously, need the acidity. Get the thing rolling. For the tomatoes, you can add all kinds of stuff there also. Celery, you can put carrots in there, on and on and on. But anyway, let's get back to cooking. Starting to get a good char on these eggplant. See the char right there? Turning black. Now, the fun part. We're not going to cut all the ingredients up, we're going to grate them. So we want them to be barely noticeable in the item. Here's your onion, grate that down. Here's the other half. We're also going to grate the garlic, and we're going to grate the green pepper. Different flavor profile, different texture. Slice this down. The chickpeas make this vegan. We're going to start adding our green pepper and onions. We're going to turn the fire down a little bit, about halfway. Give it a good stir. Here we go. We're going to throw in our olives. Throw them in a hole. We're going to throw our parsley in, chopped. We're going to throw our celery in. This stuff is smelling really good. And remember, this is a vegetarian entree. It's also gluten-free. Now here comes our garlic. This will really pop the smell up. We're going to grate them off too. Garlic going in. Turn the heat down a little bit. And keep on stirring. You want everything sauteed here. Now comes our tomato. We'll slice that into pieces. You want people to see there's tomato in there. Slice those, stack them up. Turn the stack, slice them down. In the pan. You always want to have a very sharp knife when you're working. You don't want to waste anything. Stem in the pan. You can smell this. It's amazing. Now we're going to open our chickpeas. We're going to drain them off and we're going to wash them too. I'll be back in a second. Here's our chickpeas drained off and washed in the pan. Very colorful, very good smell. The flavor is going to be excellent. Here comes our lemon juice. Squeeze your lemon into a small bowl so you miss the seeds. You don't want any seeds in here. One whole lemon. The acidity is going to be wonderful in here. Give that a stir. And once again, anything in here is interchangeable. There you go. Lemon in there. Lemon zest. Now you can take this and you can add mozzarella cheese to it. You could have provolone cheese. You could add Parmesan cheese. If we did that though, we'd lose the vegan. So we're going to keep this vegan. Goes our tomato juice. 1, 2. There. We're going to crank the fire up and let this reduce down. Good flavor. You can take this now and you can mix it with rice. You can mix it with couscous. I guess you can put it on pasta. You can put it on orzo, which is a pasta that looks like rice. We're going to do a reduction now, let it come down so it gets a little bit thicker. You could also add some yogurt to this. As in all the videos, we're not teaching recipes, we're teaching technique. You could also take this and open a pita and stuff it in there. All kinds of things you can do with it. Go ahead and add our pepper and salt mixture. And that's it. We is done. What is so cool about cooking at home and cooking from scratch, you start off with an empty palette. You're like an artist. And then with that empty palette, you can add anything you want to and slowly build up your final product. Like I said, once again, you can control your budget, you can control your flavors, control your taste, and you can do what you want to at the house. We gave you several examples here. Try this and see what you think, and let me know if you have any questions. We're going to plate this up, we're going to come back, give it a try, and I'll let you know how it is. Okay, people asked for vegan, people asked for gluten-free, and here we go. This is our chickpea, eggplant, Mediterranean entree. Very easy to come together, but like I said before, you can change anything in here out that you want to. Let's give this a try. I've got some little bitty mini pita breads, which will go great with this. We're going to try this without anything with it. See how it is. There we have an olive, some chickpeas, and eggplant. Let's see how this is. Very good flavor. The garlic comes through. The chickpeas add a weight to it. Also, with the chickpeas, this makes this a balanced meal because chickpeas are a very high protein source. So, once again, no reason you can't do this. This is easy. This is quick. This comes together very fast. You just saw how I did it. If you have any different ways, if you have any suggestions or how you would make this better, let me know. I want to hear your ideas. We hear things all over the country, and it's amazing the ideas people come up with. So, we'll see you next time on Real Food, Spend Less. Bye.